Welcome back to another episode of Unpacking Life with the box, Ricky, and the basket, Vanessa. Last episode we were talking about our perfect marriage and how great everything is and how amazing we are and how amazing our relationship is and how there's no flaws at all.
We're
just
absolutely eternally amazing. In love with each other.
So today we're going to be talking about okay, calm down with the laughing. Today we're going to be talking about terrible marriages and how horrible our marriage is. We were both previously married, which is a really long story.
Yeah.
So before we get into it, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And we appreciate y'all listening, watching, however you're getting our content. Do you want to talk about your previous marriage and how happy you were before you were forced to leave it?
Forced? I chose to leave it. Not really.
Tell us about it.
So I came to the United States when I was 17. Don't you dare say it. I'll chop you in your throat. And we moved to New Jersey. My mom didn't like it there. So like after 3 or 4 months, we moved to Florida. In Florida, I got a job at Burger King.
BK.
And
quick little side story. She can still rap pretty fast.
I can rap the fastest burger. I could
She held the record for 7 years.
I can rap a burger really fast is what I'm trying to say.
What did you say first?
I can rap the fastest burger. Like the burger is fast. Where is the burger
chase
going?
It down?
Where is it going?
The Hamburglar over here. Nowhere. That's your new nickname, the Hamburglar.
Don't you dare. So, I started working at Burger King. I had no friends. I was in a new country. I hated it so much. I had a German accent. I was I'm so sorry.
Is that why they put you in the back to wrap the burgers? Because you couldn't take orders?
I refused to take orders.
Oh.
I was the only employee.
I see nothing's changed.
I was the only employee that did not know how to do the orders and the kitchen. Everybody else took orders and did the kitchen. People. I was only the kid. No, I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not. No. Anyway, so
I believe
I'm still that way. If I don't want to do something, good luck.
Yeah.
So I met my ex-husband there. His brother worked there too. I dated his brother first. Did you know that?
I think so.
Yeah. And so after many therapy sessions and learning about myself, as you're supposed to do as an adult, apparently, I figured out that I was like in culture shock, and I was like clinging on to this group of friends I made through my ex-husband, even though they weren't necessarily the best people to be around. Because like it was a comfort for me, and I was like so stuck in it, like culture shock wise. And like not knowing other people. So when I even started college, I would like make new friends, and then they would invite me out, and then they were like going places and way better people. I'm sorry to say, but it's just that way. And I would like distance myself from them because I was more like I had a comfort of being with these hoodlums. If that makes sense. Sorry, but that's just how it is.
Beats like that.
How it was. So. And I think I became like fascinated with the idea of like being married and having a kid and all that I just at any cost I wanted it done this way. And so we broke up probably like 85 times, and then I would catch him cheating. He took my parents' van one time that I took to Burger King, and took it to his ex-girlfriend's house where I caught him. Somebody else drove me over there and I caught him there. And like, I just so stupid, young and stupid. I was like 19, 20. Like,
what'd you do?
Idiot.
Committed a felony?
No, we're not going to. What's the statute of limitations?
In Florida? I don't know. Probably a long time.
Okay, we're not going to talk about it. Nobody got hurt. That's all you need to know.
Was any property hurt?
No.
Oh. Damaged?
No. Mentally.
You look down to the left. That's a damn lie.
I'm thinking. No.
Yeah, all right.
Not really. I'm telling the truth.
Oh, okay.
Hook me up to the lie detector.
Oh, I got some other questions I'll ask.
So, long story short, I was just trying to force it, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's all I knew. And, like, I don't know if it was my confidence, some issue with me made me not leave the relationship. I don't really blame him because it was on me to leave. So, yeah. And then I left and
Never looked
I got
back.
married and all these things happened. I had Dion. Best thing that happened to me, obviously. And then...
Next to me.
And then I got divorced.
How long were you married for?
I don't even remember, honestly. I can't tell
You
you
don't
the day
remember?
I got married. I can't tell you the day I got divorced. I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I think I
feel
was
like-
married like 2 or 3 years.
So mine was kind of like a... I feel like it wasn't like a serious marriage.
You didn't think it was serious. She thought it was very serious.
No, I don't think she did either initially. I think it grew into being serious. But so I dated this girl. I dated her sister actually first.
Not my sister.
No,
His
not
ex-wife's
Vanessa. Yeah,
sister.
my ex-wife's sister.
We have a pattern, me and you.
I know. And it was very brief. And then we kind of like stopped talking. And then her sister, the one that I dated first, she called me one day and she was like, hey, I think you and my sister would be like a good match. Would you want to go to prom with her? And I was like, yeah, sure. I'm not ever going to prom. And so I ended up going to prom. And there were like the mom and the sister that I dated first. They're like, you're not like, you can't be with her. Like, she just needs a date to the prom. I was like, all right, that's fine. Like, I can
when
do that.
they said you can't be with her, you were like, watch me.
Yeah.
Now I want to be with her.
It was a challenge.
Yeah. So bad.
So then, so I take her to prom. Like, we get along. She's great. And we like start dating after a while. I can't remember if we talked right after the prom or not. Like, if we continued talking immediately after. But somehow we start dating. We dated for, I think I was like 16 at the time, maybe 15. And we were dating for like a couple years, and she was like a year older than me. And she like finished high school, and then I joined the army, and we were always kind of like back and forth. Like, we would kind of like break up, go back together, break up. And then I joined the army, and we were still dating. I like finished boot camp. I was in, and then I was being a turd, average 18-year-old, 19-year-old in the army. First time ever like getting paid money. And so I was like walling out with my buddies out there in Texas. And so her and I broke up. And then maybe a month or two later, my buddies were all doing like contract marriages with these girls around town. And it happens all the time in the army. So if you get a contract marriage, let's say Vanessa and I don't know each other, but we're friends, I'd be like, hey, let's get married. I get an extra $1,500 a month, and I can live off post. Like, I can have my own apartment, this and that.
We're not encouraging this. Highly illegal.
Do that shit. Every private does it. Well, they want to. And I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, so she gets free healthcare, and like, you don't have to pay for it at work or whatnot. Basically, the whole time that we're married. So all my buddies are doing this with these random girls, and I'm like I'm dumb, but I'm not that dumb. And I'm like, I don't want to do with some random girl. Like, what if she takes me for half of what I got? Which at the time I didn't have anything. Like $100 in my account, if that. And so I was like, in my head, I'm like, oh man, like I don't want to do this contract marriage with some rando. And so I called my ex-girlfriend at the time, and I was like, hey, listen, like, you're going off to college, like, you're moving out of your parents' house, you have your own car, like, you're working, I can cover your health insurance if we just, got married. And she's like, for real? And I was like, just, like, I'm not trying to get back together, but, like, let's just get married, and then, like, I'll send you some extra money, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, all right, fine. So we do it, and right before I deploy, and so I'm like out in the real world, like outside of the barracks, because the barracks sucks. like you always get called up for staff duty or CQ on the weekends, and they always like come and they'll like knock on your door and they'll like pull you out to work. So it's terrible. Like nobody wants to live in the barracks. It's fun. It's like a huge like frat house, but you get it's better to live off post. And so I'm living off post, and we deploy. I get extra money because I get like the BAH now, basically for living off post. They give you money, and then on top of my deployment money, I'm getting like hazardous duty pay. I'm getting family separation pay because I'm separated from my wife. So I'm making all this extra money. I thought I was balling, and so then obviously her and I are talking. We kind of reconnect, and we're like, all right, let's try it out. Like maybe it'll work out this time. And I'm deployed like in Iraq and lonely. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And she got a little crazy, not all her fault. But like, for example, don't shake your head at me.
It's a long story.
Oh, my bad. So then we're deployed, and when you're deployed, when somebody dies, they do like a full blackout. So like there's no internet, like you have no communication to the outside world until the family of the deceased is notified. So usually it's like a day or two. And so they like came back on, and then like the internet came back on, and I had all these emails and texts and like missed calls from her, and she's like going nuts. And I read it with all my friends, and we were dying laughing because like one message is like,
so bad.
One message is like, I love you so much, I miss you. And then like very next message, why aren't you answering? I hate you. I hope you freaking die. Like all this stuff. And then the next one is like, I'm sorry. I love you. I hate you. I love you. I hate you. I love you. And then like the last and final message is like, oh, I just got a notification from the FRG saying that, you know, somebody passed away and you don't have internet. Blah, blah, blah. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, this chick is freaking batshit crazy. So anyway, so we get back from deployment, and I'm like, I'm over it, right? At this point, I'm just trying to get divorced. I was like, I'm about to get out. I met Vanessa. I met you like shortly after.
You met Erica.
Okay.
Don't pull me into this.
We're naming stuff now?
I don't want your ex-wife watching this and blaming me.
She's a saint. She's a saint. Huh? My ex-wife is a saint because she could have screwed me royally with my last job. But she's a saint. Mm-hmm. We'll leave it at that. So it ended really badly because I was a jerk, and I was young and dumb, and I wanted to do dumb stuff, and that's my bad. Mm-hmm. But so that's how it ended. Mm-hmm. Are we dropping names now?
No.
Oh, okay. I wanted to say because Erica was your Richard, so I don't want to hear it. It's cute.
Well, be like that.
But there hasn't been anybody else since then, I think.
Yeah.
I
hope not.
Oh, okay.
So we met each other like right when we were both getting divorced.
Yeah, like right after our divorces were finalized.
Like my ex-husband swears to this day that I got divorced because of you, but it's really another guy that I met first. And that's not why I got divorced. I got divorced because of my ex-husband's actions, and once we were separated, I was like, can't be alone, God forbid.
That was pretty funny.
Anyway, but we have some stories, right? How did you know that your marriage was horrible, or like that it was gonna end?
Yeah, so it's basically, I asked, when did you know that it was a mistake to get married with this person, and like, why did you get divorced? This guy said, I knew it was over when she started a fight with me at my brother's funeral because female attendees were giving me hugs as part of condolences.
Well, maybe he cheats a lot, and that's why she's mad that he's.
That's not the place.
You don't know.
To get mad. You hold that crap in, and then later on when you're in the car, then you can yell at him.
Maybe she's been cheated on many times, and he makes his marks at funerals. You don't know. It's
his brother's funeral. You think he's killing family members just to have a funeral?
I'm so sorry. Don't talk about his poor brother that way.
But yeah, so I guess jealousy plays a big part into stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. I think it's two ways. It could jealousy, like that's created by the other person because they're gaslighting you and they are doing something bad. That's a thing.
But it's also a thing.
Like I was jealous with my ex-husband, but I had a reason.
Yeah.
Like one time he was screwing a girl that was like my friend and her parents kicked her out. So she lived with us for like, I don't know, 2 months. And every time I would go to work, he was screwing her. And I'm like, what? And like, I had no idea.
You're blind, girl.
And I don't trust people. And I didn't.
Oh, I know.
So
We've been together 11 years and you still don't trust me.
I trust you. So anyway, and then there's jealousy. That's just like insecurity and people's issues that then pushes the other person away. Like, I'm not doing shit. Why are you so jealous? That would also, I feel like sometimes that could be worse.
No.
Yeah. Continue.
So are you a jealous person or no?
Yeah. You want me to lie? It's a podcast.
So this other one's kind of funny. So this guy said, my girlfriend went out for girls' night and met a new friend named Nicole at a bar. They started texting a lot, and then they would go out to hang out now and then. And he says, we had a baby at home, and she kept trying to hang out with this girl from another town over with no last name who I was not allowed to meet. But they would go out all the time, and they hung out at least 3 to 4 times a week. And his real name was actually Wesley. Not Nicole.
I was going to say, how do you even have time? I see my friends like once every 3 months. What's that?
Yeah.
Oh, shame on you.
So, yeah, that's dirty. We had an acquaintance before in Black Hole.
Oh.
On her,
I never know who you're going to talk about until you say like a little keyword and then I know.
So we call this chick the Black Hole because everything she ever touches just turns to crap.
Yeah, she's like the definition of crabs in a bucket. She'll pull you down in her hole.
Her attorney killed himself. He ruined another marriage. Mm-hmm. She has, 4 kids with 3 baby daddies? Wild.
I mean,
that girl lives.
If you have a lot of baby daddies, but you're not an idiot like her, then good for you. But she's crazy. Yeah.
So I feel like once you get to the point of hiding or cheating, like why are you even in that relationship to begin with? Mm-hmm. Like if I found a chick that I liked more than you somehow, and I decided to cheat on you with this girl, I don't know why I would string you along. Like I would end things before they got to that point.
But people don't know. Like I think it's a thrill of like messing around, right? Which, in my opinion, takes way too much energy. I don't even know how some of these adults do it. And then
they can barely handle you.
They don't know a lot of times. Like my marriage is not that bad. I don't know if I want to leave it for this like bad thing that I'm not supposed to do.
Like maybe he'll change syndrome, or maybe she'll change.
I don't know.
Like they think like maybe if I stick around, they'll be better.
But then I feel like if you have that approach, you would be actively working on your marriage to get better and not fooling around. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
I know someone in our town that is one of those, we've talked about it before on like how people always make everything like so perfect on Instagram, which we admittedly do too. Like I don't post on there, oh, today Ricky really pissed me off. Like I post stuff for our anniversary and our birthday, so who am I, right, to throw stones? But
we've talked about it. That's not the problem. Yeah. Like, obviously, nobody's going to post bad stuff on their IG or social media. Mm-hmm. But it's when you act like that in person, where you're just, like, fake. We're like, oh, we're just so in love. And everybody's perfect. We don't have any issues. We never fight. Mm-hmm. We argue.
Whatever. I mean, there's people that argue less. Like, Johnny and Ro, they never argue, really, in front of us.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they have arguments, but they're, like, way less chill than... Way more chill than we are, right?
Yeah.
So, but like, I knew. So it's like I'm not close to this person. I've met the person, but like we don't have a relationship.
Yeah.
But I know people that have relationships with this person. And this person got cheated on by their spouse for like 2 or 3 years, like full on affair, and then got back with them. And like now it's like, oh, I love this person so much.
Is that Marilyn Monroe?
Will you stop? I don't want to give any. Oh, I will tell you later who I'm talking about.
I'll leave it in the comments. Just kidding.
And I mean, good for you, whatever, but I just can't. And like every time I see, like, oh, this person is like perfect and it's just my perfect life, I'm like, how long has it been that they had a 3-year affair on you? I just like that. I can't like.
Yeah.
Good for you, I guess. I guess if you put a lot of work into changing who you are as a person,
mm-hmm.
But I don't know how you could ever trust again. You would have to like do one of the Men in Black on me and like wipe my memory of the trust issues that I have.
Yeah.
I just have a hard time believing that everything is so perfect when you had such major issues that led to an affair for several years.
I feel like those are the super perfect one. Those are probably the worst marriages because they want to believe so hard that they have a great marriage.
Yeah.
That they reflect that out to everybody else.
I used to see this. Like, who are you trying to convince? Are you trying to convince us or are you trying to convince yourself?
Yeah.
You know?
Most of them are themselves.
Which I used to be like that with my ex-husband.
Yeah.
I was trying to convince myself more than other people.
What's like Brandon? What?
Like, you gonna put his dirt out?
No, I would never. But like Brandon, like obviously we hang out with him all the time, and they see us bickering and stuff. But like we just recently started going to the gym together more often, and so I told him about like this big fight that you and I had, and then he's like, "Oh, you guys are human. You guys do fight, huh?" We're like, "Dude, of course we fight. Like I've never made it seem like we didn't." Yeah. So that's kind of funny. But so we have a few other stories. I won't get into like super detailed on these, but they were basically one of my most hated things is like domestic violence, which obviously is not a reason, or it is a reason to leave, not a reason to stay.
Like immediately.
Yeah, like I would never condone it. Even as a cop, like we would go to these calls all the time, and I never knew what went through somebody's head to make them stay in a relationship where they're physically being assaulted or insulted or
it's so much like
talked
manipulation
down to. Yeah.
and like,
and psychologically I understand why some women stay, just because it's so hard to get out of that situation, especially if it's like you see a lot of these stories where people are getting divorced and it's like a stay-at-home mom with work history was, I don't know, her last job was years ago because she's been home, raising her kids. So if she gets divorced, then she has to go into an entry-level job and then may not be able to provide for her and her children. And so that's the reason why they stay. A lot of people stay, or women stay, because, and it happens to men too, I understand, but majority of the time it's women that are on the bad end of it. A lot of women don't have family resources, support around wherever they are. So they just feel like they're trapped, like they can't do anything better. But God, I would never. Like if that was Aubrey, I'd probably.
But you have to think too that you're a guy and you have like, your brain works different. You're more like, you feel more in charge and more powerful and more like less intimidated by stuff, right? For a woman, you like sometimes it's easier to feel helpless. Yeah. Like today, we were texting back and forth because I have not been to a gym by myself in years, and I didn't realize that until today. And I was like, "Why am I so uncomfortable? Like, what is wrong with you?" Yeah. And I had been working out with a friend that I broke up with, and then
shall remain unnamed.
Yeah, for good reason. And then I was working out like with Nicole every now and then at F45. And then I would work out with you or with Vicky or with Ro at True. Yeah. And then I do a lot of, a lot of like group classes at martial arts. And like, that is my best workouts by far because
Mhm.
like you're fighting for your life. Really? Like you're fighting not to be choked. And like I never sweat,
Yeah.
but I sweat. Like it's dripping down my leggings. Like gross. So then I was like realizing that I'm uncomfortable because I have not been in a gym by myself in like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And it was weird because there was this guy that
So
is so cringy. He like
we see this dude at the gym. Most times that Vanessa and I go to this gym, we see this guy. He's like an older white dude, bald, and just like weird looking dude. He just looks like a creep. And anytime that I've seen him, he's always like trying to chat with somebody that's like in the middle of their workout. That one girl, she's like working on a cable, and this dude goes and grabs a plate, a 45-pound plate, and then stands right next to her and does like little side shrugs or whatever. And then he sets the plate on her machine, and like while he's standing in her space, like her bubble, talking to her. And then later on, she's like, I'm going this way. Like,
yeah.
And then he just randomly walks up to people and like tries to talk to them. I'm like, bro,
he just
leave
like
people
scans
alone.
the gym, and I don't know, like I don't want to really judge him, but I am because he made me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But like he just scans the gym to see an opportunity to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And it's like just respect people's spaces. Like I'm not like a very social person, so one, I can't relate to that, and two, like it makes me so uncomfortable. So today, I don't have my security blanket, aka my friend or my husband with me.
So he's tried to talk to me before, but I always have my headphones in, so I just act like I don't hear him or anything, and I just kind of like brush him off, and he'll go away. So after like the first or second time that I did that, like he won't speak to me or try to speak to me anymore, and he's seen me there with Vanessa, and like he's walked by. And we won't acknowledge him, nothing. So then today, she went by herself.
So I went, and in this gym, they have different rooms. Like, they have one where you can do, like, a full circuit, like, really quick 30-minute workout. And then there's, like, 2 other rooms where you can, like, stretch. So I'm, like, I'm without my husband. I'm without my friends. Like, I'm here all by myself. And I'm usually not, like, that little, like... Victim little Bambi. But I just felt uncomfortable. I can't help it. So I went into, like... the furthest room in the furthest corner, because I see this guy, I'm like walking on the treadmill, and I see him in front, right? I'm like, I'm not going over there to those weights. I'm going to go to this room way over here. Within 2 minutes, the guy is next to me on a machine. I was like, this cannot be happening. Like, it cannot be happening. I'm going to say
every time we ever see him, he's always by like the weights or like the cable machines.
So I'm like, okay, that's okay. You know jiu-jitsu. So then I moved to another machine. I'm waiting for this lady to leave. So there's 5 machines. He's on the very end, and I'm on the one next over. So he moves over. So I moved to the first one.
Yeah.
Sure enough, he moves right next to me. It's like, that's it. I'm done. I'm like leaving to go somewhere else where there's more people.
Yeah.
But so that's a long story to say. Like as women, I don't know. I'm probably gonna get like hate comments for this, but we're not equal. Like. You probably feel more... I probably feel more scared in my life than you do. Because you're a man and you have like this... You know? And so... I don't know. I can't say that I... Well... Anyway. When I was younger, there's been instances that I should have not allowed to happen.
Right.
Like I didn't land in a hospital, but there were things that were like...
Yeah.
I never told anybody because, well, a few people know, but I knew they would be like, what, are you stupid? Like, I knew it was wrong and I knew I should leave the situation, but I didn't.
Right.
So I know I'm sure it could be hard and that could probably escalate into.
And I get that. And that's why I'm saying, like, I would always preach as a cop if I went out to like a domestic violence call where a woman was assaulted or whatever the case may be. That was always like my first piece of advice. It's like, just leave. Like there's life after this. I know it seems hopeless right now. Like you would never be able to accomplish anything, but I promise you will thrive on your own because this dude is just holding you back. So,
but I think sometimes too they're scared like what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
he has these issues and lashes out. What's gonna happen? This got like really dark way too fast. I don't like it. Anyway, so
if it triggers you, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Leave us a comment. Let us know.
Don't.
No.
Yeah.
But you're funny. bad marriages or
I don't know.
relationships.
This is way bad now.
So, but
Thanks
we
for
appreciate y'all
listening,
listening, watching, however you're getting our content. So, have a good night.